Okay, we're going to start our next project, which is the Smiley Face Animated GIF. Alright, to start this, I'm going to go to File, New, and we're going to use a preset of Web, and make sure that the width is 200 and the height is 200. Keep everything else the same. Then click OK. I'm going to open up my navigator and zoom in just a little bit so that the white square, our document, is a little bit bigger and I can see what's going on. To minimize the navigator, I'm simply going to press the two little right arrows. If you don't have the navigator, simply click on Window and make sure that the navigator box is checked, and that will pop up over here. Okay, so to make our smiley face, I'm going to first make a new layer, and this layer is going to have the shape of my smiley face. So I'm going to get the elliptical marquee tool, and I'm going to start up here in this corner and hold down Shift so that I get a perfect circle and go down to the bottom corner. Alright, so my circle should fill up most of that square that I made. Alright, now I'm going to fill this in. So to fill it in, I'm going to right click, go to Fill, and foreground color is fine. Click OK. It does not matter what color that you make this because we're actually going to change it later, so it's not a big deal if it's a different color than black. Alright, so now I'm going to deselect, which means to get rid of those dancing ants around the outside. To do that, I'm going to right click and deselect. And in my layers palette, I've got my black circle that I just created. What I want to do is I actually want to double click on this layer. If you double click on the name layer one, that's where you edit the name. So you either have to double click on the actual picture or over where the text is not. So I'm going to double click on the picture, and that's going to bring up our layer stylet palette. Layers style window. Okay, so in the layer style window, I'm going to first click on gradient overlay. And if you just click on the box, it will make the gradient pop up, but you have to actually click on the words gradient overlay for your gradient overlay options to come up. Alright, then I'm going to click on this little down arrow. Actually, I'm going to just click on the color, and it's going to let me choose what gradient I want to make it. So first I'm going to click on this black box, double click on it, and I'm going to choose a yellow. Alright, so my yellow is going to be like that. Click OK. And then over this one, I'm going to double click on that one and make it a little bit of an orange. Doesn't need to be too dark, but like an orangey yellow. Click OK. Alright, now what I want to do is I'm going to click right next to this box, and it's going to add another box that's a similar color. Then I'm going to click and drag my yellow to the middle, and this second box all the way over to the other side. So now I have it goes from orange to yellow to orange. Alright, and then I'm going to click OK. I also want to make sure that this is at a 0 angle, so I'm going to change this number to 0. And you can see that it changed the direction that my gradient was going, because before, when it was at 90, it was started up here dark and then went light and then dark, but now I want it to go at a 0 degree, and you just type in 0 for that. So it goes dark on this side, light in the middle, and then dark. Okay, I also want to do a little bit of a inner shadow. So I'm going to click on the inner shadow box, and you can see that when I clicked on it, this little shadow popped up. I'm going to change the distance. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And so mine's at 11 pixels. If yours is around there, that's fine. And I'm going to turn the opacity down. Remember, that makes it like a little bit lighter. So I'm going to make it like around about like 44 or 41. And then I'm going to click OK. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make a little glow on this, or like a little shine, so it makes it look a little bit more 3D, like a smiley face. So on a new layer, I clicked on my new layer button down here. I'm going to, with my elliptical marquee tool, I'm going to make a ellipse or an oval that is at the like top half of the circle. Alright, so it's the top half of the circle that we made. It looks something like this. If it's close to that, you're doing good. Alright, then I'm going to click on my gradient tool. So it's the one that also has the paint bucket and the 3D material drop tool, but I want the gradient tool. So click on gradient tool, and on this little drop down menu, I'm going to click on the second one, this little second one. So it has like the checker box look and then like the black on one side. And I also want to switch my colors around so that it's white on top. So it's white over here and then goes to the checker look. Okay. Then I'm going to just draw a line inside my selection from the top to the bottom. So it's going to look something like that. And that's what I want. Alright, now I'm going to right click, or sorry, before I right click I have to get one of my selection tools and then right click and deselect. And I want to make this like a little bit blurry so that it doesn't look such like a harsh edge there. So I'm going to go up to the top where it says filter. I'm going to go to blur. And I'm just going to do a Gaussian blur. So I'm pull this box over, and you can see that if it doesn't have a blur, it's pretty harsh like that. And then if I turn up the blur, you can see it kind of like smooths it out, makes it look a little bit less harsh. So I'm going to go down to about 3. I like that, the way that looks. And then click OK. I want to put a little bit of a shine down at the bottom as well, just to get, like I said, I'm just making this look a little bit more 3D. To do that, I'm going to right click on my layer 2 and duplicate layer. So I have a layer 2 copy. And so that's just the same thing as that white blur, that white shine that I just made, that I have another one. You can see I have another one right here. Alright, I'm going to, with that new one that I just made, I'm going to put show transform controls just so you can see what I have selected. Alright, I'm going to go to edit, transform, and I'm going to flip vertical. And then I'm going to move it down here to the bottom. And I just want a little sliver, I don't want the whole thing. So I'm going to get my elliptical marquee tool again. I'm going to select everything except for like that very bottom part there and just press the delete key on my keyboard or the backspace key. And once again, after I have right clicked, deselect, or clicked somewhere else, I'm going to go to filter, Gaussian blur again, and that just kind of makes it a little shiny down at the bottom. Alright, this is how I want my smiley face to look, but I want to add some eyes and a mouth. So I'm going to create a new layer. To create the eyes, I'm simply going to draw like a little oval shape for an eye. I'm going to make sure that it's going to be black, so I changed it so black is on the front here, and right click, fill. And I'm going to fill that with my foreground color, which is the black. Alright, on top of the black eye, I'm going to add, or sorry, on top of my smiley face, I'm going to add another eye. So I'm just going to duplicate this layer 3, duplicate layer, and move that over. I'm going to make a new layer for the face. So what I'm going to do for the smile part is I'm going to use the elliptical marquee tool, and I'm going to do something like this, okay? So really my smile is going to go from like right here all the way around. But I'm going to stroke the outside of this entire thing and then just erase out the part I don't want. So I have this shape. I'm going to right click and stroke, and I'm going to make the width about 10 pixels. And then, so now you can see it's like he has his mouth open, but I want it to be closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rectangle marquee tool and select like about this half of his mouth and just press the delete key on my keyboard, and that will make it go away. Alright, so now I have my smiley face, and this is going to be the first frame of my animated GIF. Alright, so this was part 1 of making a smiley face in Photoshop. Make sure that you go up to File and then go to Save As and save it to your documents. And I'm going to name it as Smiley. And make sure that you first save it as a PSD, a Photoshop file. Press save, and then OK. Go ahead and start part 2 of the Smiley Face animated GIF video series.